This is says Joan.
Blessed afternoon to everyone. I don't have graphics here, but I have some live people here with everybody that's representing either Open Door or John L. Young. Just stand up for a minute and just give a wave. We're in the house. So, and they are very much aware of the purpose of this meeting and are here to support us as we go forward. You have this history here regarding Open Door. First, we were located in Mount Vernon area before the construction of the convention center. Then after that, we were moved to 4th and L Street, right over the viaduct for the 395 interstate, or whatever that's considered a connector. I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I don't know all the terms you use. But we were there up until 95, and then we were transferred here to CCNV on a temporary basis, is what we were told. I guess I should do like this, quotes, temporary basis. And that was about 13 years ago in 99. I think this makes 14 years this year. We came in 99, so that's 14 years this year, right? 15. Oh, that's right, you're in 14. I'm still bad. Well, I don't know. Anyway, so that was temporary, and we've been here. At one point, I think they were going to build a women's shelter. A lot was appointed and finances, but they all disappeared somewhere in the city, so we're still sitting here waiting. In 2010, John L. Young, we picked up John L. Young from Catholic Charities, and so we've been actually running both facilities now since 2010. I think it's good to give you a slight description of what Open Door and John L. Young actually are, because people mistake it, and they anticipate things that we should do or should be doing, and there are many things that we would like to do, but we don't have funding to do that. So right now, we were formally considered an emergency overnight shelter with 12 hours functioning. At some point, the name was changed to a low barrier shelters for single adults. It's 12 hours, as I said. During hypothermia or hyperthermia, we're open for 24 hours. We have bathroom facility, shower, limited laundry, sheets, blankets, small amount of storage space for the belongings, water, so on. We provide 1 meal a day, and we're very gracious and thankful that we're right in the facility with DC Kitchen, so we are taking advantage of that. We have many collaborative efforts. We receive our funding, I'll go into the funding later, but beyond the funding, because the contracts for human services and things like that were cut many years ago, and that cut has continued, we are depending more on a collaborative effort. So we do resource network. We have a great support with the community, spiritual organizations, and so on that come, and they really aid us in many ways. I've been able to collaborate with some private dentists and people like that, spas that come in to give the ladies self-esteem. We have special programs and things like that that we cannot provide on a budget. There's no operational budget for that, but because of our collaborative efforts, we're able to do those things. I have worked with Mr. Sheptock, and we brought Director Burns in when he came, and he's been able to see both sites and see the needs of this building, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But our collaborative effort, we have reached out to the Department of Aging, to Veterans Administration, to the core agencies with the wraparound programs. The problem that occurs often with those individuals who utilize emergency shelters, even though many of them are chronic and long-term homeless individuals, is sometimes it's transportation, the demographics of, there's people that we have that are from all over the United States. They seem to gravitate to the nation's capital, thinking that this is where the funding is, and so their demands are great often, but we are limited, and it's very, very difficult. We have almost 200 women between the two sites, with only, if you think about what Mr. Rico Harris presented about his volunteers, which do a great, great job, which you think of the ratio, we have 2 staff, 1 security for 118 women at one site, 2 staff, 1 security for 85 women at the other site. So we do focus on our internal piece, which is keeping our space secure. The contract, I don't have the arrangements for the contract for the security company, but to my understanding, their responsibility is for within our program. And that is understandable if you think about the ratio of our numbers. Any number of things that can happen in the space that we're in, especially once the ladies are moving more into the localized area where they're all over our particular site, to keep that managed with that limited number of staff and security can be difficult. But I say personally, I feel that we are very blessed, because anyone who looks at the stats of the number of incidents we have is very, very small considering the numbers of people we have. So I'm very grateful of the fact that we can manage, and we have been blessed. There have been incidents, but most of the time when emergency individuals are called, it's for more medical and things like that than there are for behavioral problems. And if it is, most of the time we can diffuse that by relying on the Department of Behavioral Health. We have a great relationship with Judy Williams, with Mr. Glennon, as well as now their staff, the outreach team, and others that come in. So we can call them, they come out, they try to diffuse things, so we don't go to the level to make it where an individual has to be incarcerated or put into the mental institution for a while, if we can stabilize that and cut it off before that happens. So we have many, as you see, collaborative efforts, and we do work with CCNV and what they offer here. We try to refer our people to, whether it's the Unity Clinic, we have tried to refer our people to Clean and Sober. We've worked with Ms. Williams. It's a very difficult thing, even though they just have to walk upstairs to get that those individuals to commit to that. It's been very, very difficult. And so, we continue to try to do the best we can. I won't go over the stats here, but you can see here some of our age, our information that's presented. I think some of that will be collaborated when this task team present their information regarding who receives services and what type of services they need and desire. Our program financing comes through DHS and through our gracious financial gatekeepers, TCP. And so we are very grateful to have that, but we also have a small amount of funds that come in from philanthropers, from United Way, or from the CNC. The needs of our population are basically our targeted population. We have a lot of good percentage of elderly individuals, and I think that sliding scale changes to who we consider elderly. And I might slide it because I'm getting older every year, but I don't know. But the government seems to slide it as well. So, but we do have quite a few elderly individuals, and that's very difficult for me to deal with every day, because I don't feel that they should be homeless. I don't feel that in a country that is so vast in resources that these older people should be coming into a place where they have to climb upstairs, where they have to climb onto a bunk bed if we don't have a bottom bed. If they, they have to carry their things if that's what they desire, because many of them don't feel secure enough to leave them, even though we have lockers and locks and things like that. It's a very difficult thing to see, and you see these individuals, sometimes you don't know they're the ones that's out there homeless, but it's really heartbreaking for me, for these elderly, for anybody. All of my ladies are precious, but for the elderly in particular, I think that we are not doing justice to these individuals to have them here. And we've tried, but I don't know what has to happen in order for them to move on, because we have had efforts with Pathway, with the seniors and other things to try to move them on, had them come in to engage them, but they prefer to be with us. So I can't push them out the door. I mean, I understand that they feel safe and comfortable enough, but the other side of me says, I don't understand if we are offering you an apartment or some place that you can go, why you wouldn't prefer that. But that's often what happens, and I'm sure, as Ms. Lightfoot said, that there's a myriad of reasons why people do that, but we try to work with them anyway, and we continue to do that. Because of the cuts, I also need to say that we have also suffered from the social service part of that, not having that, and so I fully support if we could get some type of agency right here in the building would be great. Maybe if not this building, but the new building that's going to be built. Hallelujah. For the record. So we have the elderly, the mentally ill. Those are individuals we have. There's no particular race or culture or age. We just, they're here, and the reasons for that are many. So we try to do the best we can, considering that we are only emergency shelter. There are some that receive money. There's very few that work. Some of them have part-time jobs. Some of them just go out and do day jobs. So the funding is difficult, and they claim most of the time because of the cuts where we used to could give them tokens and things like that. That's not available, so that's also a barrier for them, and they continually tell us that. Some have been, the reasoning is evicted from housing. They know that some of that is because of substance abuse, from mental illness. Some of them, because they're in denial of their mental health, will not take medication. And if we get them stable through working with the behavioral health, they come back and they feel that they're okay and they stop taking the meds. So it's, within a couple of weeks that we continue to have issues. But we try to work with that. So we continue to work with other resources that are out there, as you see. Many of our cases of residents are referred to outreach. We try to work with the outreach teams that are out there. We try to take in as many we can, and right now it's been very difficult. As Mr. Harris said, we have been full every single night. Our capacity at John O. Young is 85. That has been consecutive. Open Door is 118 with what they call the winter season. We have 118. We've been transporting as many as 10, 12, and 15 people over our 118 through the hypothermia van. So it's been very difficult. The needs of our organization as related to the programs as primary needs of New Home Ministry are stable multi-year funding and a restoration of funding cuts going back to 2010 when we were cut. So we are as many people who are employed as well. We have been stagnant in our budget, and so that means all of us have been stagnant. We're not working voluntary as Mr. Harris and the CCNV group, but we are stagnant, and our cost of living and things like that are not happening, but we stay. We have a very loyal staff, and we stay together. What we have tried to do is what we would like for our residents is to have a better building to be in. Right now, John L. Young, if I can say that, we're grateful for the building, but it's a deplorable place for people to be. It's a basement. There are no windows. We are right next to the boiler room. There is an issue in this building with air and heat. So right now it's cold in most of parts building. They've been trying to fix that. And so we have my staff, as well as ladies who live there, have been sick. I have a staff that has pneumonia in the hospital now, another one home sick. We have residents that are, they'll testify to that. They think it's us. They think it's our program that is the problem, and we try to say it's the building and there's things that are happening, but we just ask that we could resolve this and think about, this is not a conducive place. Can we build a place that would allow the people who are homeless to have a temporary place, as Mr. Harris said, a safe place. Many times we see all of this trafficking going on. It has nothing to do with us. My ladies know that they need to come in and be in. That's time? Okay. I'm going to be the preacher that gives up the mic, but I'm going to say I'm not going to be like Mr. Henry. I'm not going to put the basket in the back. I'm going to pass it around so you can put your donations in. God bless you and thank you.